welcome back to my channel. I am so glad you're here joining me for episode 7 or episode 8. I'm not quite sure where we're at for my home renovation series. We live in California on a 2.5 acre property with 50 mature avocado trees and doing lots of home renovations. So in today's video, I'm finally going to take you guys out and show you the finished product of our huge skatable concrete driveway. And I've written down some notes because after I show you guys the big reveal, I'm going to tell you all of what went into this project. I'm going to talk about some future projects, and we're going to have a nice little chit chat. So grab a cup of tea, get a cup of coffee, get comfortable, and let's get into it. So we need to start from the beginning. This was the very first spot of concrete that we had poured professionally when we bought this house. Everything was dirt. We had an entire dirt road, and it was pretty awful for the first 2 years or so. So we had this first little section poured, and then it follows this line all the way down, which I'm going to show you here, creating like a planter. So if you can see the planter, this is a skatable planter, and we had this done for the reason and purposes of skating. This is the entire new skatable plaza is what we're calling it. That's what my son is calling it. And it rained, so it is a little wet right now. But if you see here, this is the skatable planter, and we're actually gonna redo all the plants back there, make it really beautiful. It's springtime, so I just can't wait to get in there. But this is the coolest feature and part of this. So this is a little planter that we had done around our big tree in our front yard. And this is all skatable. So I'm gonna take you all the way around here. And we're super excited for it. So my husband and son are skateboarders, and this is something that we've always dreamt of being able to do for our son. We wanted to just turn this property into such a fun place for people to come and visit and hang out with us. So if you see here, there's a lot of different dimensions, and it's just going to be so fun to skate. And they are literally chomping at the bit to get out here and skate. So it's a very, very large space, and I'm not exactly sure of the exact dimensions or how much was poured here. But if you look over here on the right-hand side, there's actually a slappy curb. I think that's what it's called. And it goes all the way back to the front where we had that first concrete poured. So coming over on this side, it goes all the way out overlooking the avocado trees, and we have big plans and ideas to build onto this even more. They actually started doing some dirt work as they were doing this, keeping in mind that we want to add on to it. The dogs are already loving all this space. Now I want you to keep in mind here, I'll insert some pictures as we get into the vlog of what it looked like before. It was completely dirt. So when we initially bought the house, we weren't sure if we were going to pave it, but after we thought about it for a while, we thought, why not just go for it and make this just a really cool, fun spot for my son to hang out. Only live once, and I really think that this is such a unique feature and fun little spot that my son will remember forever, and hopefully this will be his home in the future, and he will really enjoy having this spot. So back here is actually the second concrete pour that we did when we bought the house with the intention of adding on to it. So we had it professionally done, and this is just a fun little, I don't even know what to call that, but just like a little ramp that you can skate up. They actually had some old concrete we had to knock out. Now we do live in California, so most of the time we have pretty beautiful weather, but this was like the very last day that they poured, and they had to work in the rain, which was terrible and probably not ideal for concrete, but they got it done, and we were just so amazed by the work that they did. So this was actually before they poured the first round of concrete. Now I want you to keep in mind that this is such a big space that each pour, and they did 3 pours, required 2 concrete trucks. So it was a lot of concrete. And basically what they did was they poured this first little section here, and then they did the little thing around the tree, and then they waited, and then they did the back part, so closer to the gate, and then the middle part they left open, and they did that on the last day. So this video gives a little bit of a better view, and if you can imagine how much dirt was out there, it was just absolutely terrible. We have 2 pretty large dogs, and they were always out there just tracking so much dirt in. Our cars were getting filthy. So this is really just a nice gift to everybody in the family to have this done. It was quite expensive, but I think it was so worth it, and it's going to be such a valuable piece to add to this property, and we're very excited for it. Now, if you are new to my channel and you haven't seen any of our other renovation projects, we built a home studio, my YouTube studio, my barre studio. I'm a barre instructor and a ballet teacher in 2020. So I can link that video if you want to see that transformation, because that was pretty cool. And it was an old shack that we just totally made into a beautiful studio. And then we also built the bowl, our skate bowl, which is pretty cool and pretty impressive, I think. And that was also done by the same person who did the work for our concrete skate plaza. So I will go ahead and link some details on that too, and I'll go ahead and insert a video of the skate bowl. And then down here is my home studio. I don't have a picture of what it looked like before. I can't find it, but it was awful. I will link the video below. How cool was that transformation? So I am going to put up some pictures right here and right here to show you guys exactly what the front looked like when we purchased the house. We've done quite a few things, including installing a full solar panel unit. We have Tesla power walls, and we're getting ready to put in like a new charging station for our Tesla. We just have like a slower charger, so we've been charging it at home. And because we have the full solar panel unit, to put in a little bit of a faster charger. So we're going to work on doing that. I don't drive too often, so it seems to work out just fine. But anyways, I'll link the video below that explains all about the solar panels and all of that if you're interested in finding out about that big project that we did. Okay, so looking at my notes, I just wanted to talk a little bit more about the concrete pour that they did. So it was a big pour, and in my little voiceover that I did, I said it took 2 trucks. It took 2 trucks per section. So each little section that they did, they broke it into 3 different spots. They did the front, and then around the tree was 1, and then they left the middle open, and then they did the front up by our gate, that was 2, and then the middle. So 6 trucks total, and concrete trucks are so expensive. When we first bought the property and we had the front part done, it was like $900 a truck. So even at that price, if you do the math, that's $1,800 per pour, but they've gone up like to something crazy like $1,600 a truck now. So it's almost doubled. So that was $1,600 times 6. I'm not going to say the total cost of everything, but if you do the math right there in just the concrete trucks alone, it started to get very pricey. Now, here's what I will say. We have been saving for this project for a very long time. We have been cutting corners on things. We have been eating at home. We have been saving money so that we could have this project done. If you've watched any of my other videos, I always talk about saving money for an experience instead of just going out and blowing money on mindless purchases and things that don't really matter. So to us, this was worth it. And I'm so glad that we finally got it done. So coming up for future projects, we have so many things planned, and we would love for you to join our journey. So we have a whole kitchen remodel that is happening. We don't have an exact timeline, but we have come in here and torn it up. And where I'm sitting right now is like the nicest part of the kitchen to film in. So we're gonna do a secret door. So we can't wait to share that with you guys. We're planning on planting a whole garden. We've been growing lots of herbs and all kinds of stuff. And plus we have our 50 avocado trees. So I'll also link some videos on that. We have a couple different types, and they're so good and organic, and we just love our trees. And building a really big kitchen island, and we're super excited to share that process with you guys. We're doing new flooring. We're doing a pantry build. If you haven't seen that video, I'll also link that for you guys below. So we're doing all kinds of things. We would love to have you subscribe and stick around. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it brought you a little bit of inspiration, motivation if you're working on any home renovations or remodels right now. It can be extremely taxing, and we have been living in this remodel for 4.5 years at this point in time. And sometimes you feel like you want to give up. Sometimes you feel like it's too much, but when you see the finished product, like what's going on out in the front yard and all the people that are going to come and enjoy that little skate plaza, it makes it all worth it. So thank you guys for being here and supporting my work, supporting this journey, and I'll see you guys in my next video.